All right, while I was installing my SP9100, I decided, even though I had I believe the pigtail harness, whatever you oh, gosh darn it. All right, I'm back. I just dropped my switch panel. Okay, while I was setting up the SP9100, getting some of the switches laid out, figuring out what all I wanted to install, I decided not to include the ARB compressor, the front locker, or the rear locker in my switches, at least not at the moment. What I decided was, what I figured out was that even with the what do you call it, pigtail, or the other, not bracket, the ARB connectors that go with the Switch Pro, that I still had to use the ARB relay, and I still had to use the ARB fuse. Because of that, to use up use up 3 switches for these, where I still have to use, well, in this case I have to use this relay, and fuse. I really decided, well, why not just keep this as a rocker? Since to me, one of the reasons I went from the relays to the MOSFET was the fact that just trying to get away from relays because of the failures of the mechanical type switches. Not that they're they happen a lot, but it's just something that, you know, while you're playing, I mean, why do you install an R2.8, you know, in a perfectly good Jeep? So it's just one of those things where, you know, that's just what I was going for. But for one, it's not like I'm going to strobe the ARB compressor. I'm not going to strobe my front locker. I'm not going to do anything special to my front locker, rear locker, or whatever. There can be reasons why you'd want to have the triggers set up, so say you can't engage your compressor, so you can't engage your front locker, so you can't engage your rear locker. There's definitely some good reasons why you'd want to integrate that. However, by taking 3 switches out, and I already have basically a switch panel that comes with the TJ, I decided, hey, let me just switch these. The life expectancy of the relay is far outweighs what the failure rate's going to be for the air lockers and the air compressor. The parts in internal parts and like that are not going to last what a good relay should be. Plus, I can have a couple spare relays. It kind of stinks, but it's really not a big issue for those relays. So I'm going to possibly, I might put those in my Busman that I have. I have a second relay. I may think about using the OEM relays, but I doubt it. So that's just. Well, in fact, I may actually use the OEM relays because there was the front and rear locker option. So I'll think about that. I'll look at the diagram so that makes sense. However, I've got the Busman and I've got several openings. Actually, it won't handle the air compressor. So I may just have to line these up somehow and just install them someplace somewhere, but I don't know yet. There'll have to be another video. I just wanted, while I have the dash torn apart, I'm going to go ahead and install these switches. And I'm just trying to show some of the reasoning why I decided to not integrate these switches into the SP9100. And I mean, that right there, that gives me, now I've got 8 circuits I can deal with. So that gives me a lot more options. So, all right, I finished wiring up the Switch Pro's SP9100. I've not finished buttoning everything up. I haven't even tested to see if this stuff works. I went ahead and added the air compressor, the ARB air compressor. I mounted it. I'll show you where I mounted it, and I'll show you where I routed the wiring. The only thing on this one, I didn't put the wiring to the ignition or the lights or anything like that, or to get the lights for the switches. I can't remember how that works. I can't remember if the lights turn on or not. But anyway, I added that. This is the ground that I've got from the SP9100. This here is the positive. You can see, and I had to run it all the way up here. Run the positive all the way up here, and the negative. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. Well, we're gonna see. Okay, I decided to switch 4 on the S Pros, or the Switch Pros. I did the FT8900R, the ASU. Then here is just the front cheapo LED light that I've got. That's not even the hood light, the one up here. I don't think I'm going to actually run a light there. You basically, from my understanding, you just run the positives to here, and then you run your negatives to wherever your negatives need to be. So we're gonna go through and see if this guy will turn on. You can see, this may not be a great placement, but I mean, it works. That's where I put my Switch Pros. Can you see it? That's where I put my, okay, well, those are hooked up, but that's not turning on. I kind of thought it would, even though I don't have, anyway, well, I'll have to worry about that later. And also, maybe the ignition has to be on. I don't know. I haven't wired all that stuff up yet, but maybe with the, I guess maybe with those relays, I have to have the, I have to have some sort of power source to get those to turn on. I don't know, and it's really not what I'm worried about right now. Yeah, I've got those wires hanging here somewhere, as a bunch of other wires are also hanging there. So at least make sure the Jeep fires back up, even though I've got all kinds of crap here. And the dash is still torn apart. So much stuff. Okay, make sure I'm out of gear. Okay, it starts up. Had a weird sound back there. Oh, nice. Let's see if the radio turns on. Okay, I've got a light that kind of came on. I was having an issue with this before, and I don't even remember how to turn this thing on, to be honest. Make sure nothing crazy is going on with the Jeep. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Got power now. Now that kind of sucked. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not really as familiar with this. Okay, I'm gonna just see if that turns off. Yes, that does turn off. That's kind of cool. All right, now I'm gonna try to turn on my front lights. Okay, so I have that turned on. Oh, well, it might turn on. Well, I also have a problem with this Deutz connector. Yeah, this is just a problem with the Deutz connector. It is turning on. It's just the problem with the connector. I have to download, I guess, an app so I can get the trigger stuff to work. I don't know if you could see this before. Maybe you don't need the light. The Switch Pros is coming on even when I go to accessory position, and that's what I wanted. So it works. I'm gonna go and start it and make sure that it turns off while I crank it. All right. Well, it doesn't turn off while I crank it, I guess. I think that's okay. If not, we'll try something different. So I don't want to let this run in because I'm in a garage. That's not always, smart. So. All right, there you go. Power's off. So fun. Seems to work. I want to eventually put some, stuff to protect that, but also I need to get some stuff to actually control. So cool.